So we mostly have engineers and great amount of architects. Okay, cool. Thank you everyone for voting. So today we're going to be looking at BIM 360 Docs. Now, in general, Docs is just the document management process behind the BIM 360 platform, which will allow us to manage and control our different documentation platforms. So with any other of our webinars in the future, whatever we look at, Docs will always form part of the base for that. Now, as I said, Lulu can't showcase, and that's why I'm stepping in. And then also we have on the line Dominique. Dominique, if you can quickly introduce yourself.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dominique Jordan, a strategic account manager within the architecture and interior design industry. And then obviously just a few notes for this presentation. You will know that you are more than welcome to pop us your questions in the chat box, and some of our panelists will be able to answer the questions for you. Please note that the session will be recorded, and afterwards a survey will be sent out, so your participation would be greatly appreciated. And then, as Michiel said, we just started off with a panel, so over to you, Michiel.
Cool. And just a quick little introduction of myself. My name is Michiel Windal. I'm an application engineer for Modena, focusing in the architecture and interior design space, and also one of our BIM consultants for BIM 360, but also just the standard ISO implementation and things like that. Okay, so generally, why BIM 360 Docs? Now, as I said, this is the core. This is your project data for the whole project timeline, from conceptual design all the way through the construction process to the commissioning of the building, and even further on with the decommissioning. It's the one platform where all your data is connected and secure, and it just generally integrates with the various other platforms. Added benefit is it has a great analytics tool to make sure you can do data-driven design or review of information. Now, typically what we do find in the industry is when you start using software platforms like FTP, network drives, basic cloud storage, and point cloud solutions, it's all broken workflows. I want to say we all kind of know the Dropbox problem, where if someone doesn't upload a document or a wrong file type like a Revit file or AutoCAD file, you can't view that file. It's unconnected, it's unviewable. With the BIM 360 platform, it's really driven to make sure that everyone can see the data as needed. Now, some of the great features we have within BIM 360. One, it's secure access, so no one can just jump on and take a file if they don't have the correct permission. We've got approval workflows, which helps us to make sure that we get the correct approval on time to make sure the project is streamlined. We can do design compares and with our version control. So this is a functionality whenever you upload a Revit file or an AutoCAD file or a PDF, and it creates a new version. And those versions you can start comparing to each other. So you can see the changes within your BIM 360 environment. Then we've got our commenting and markup tools, which is typical, we always find. You can have this on your phone, mobile access, or anywhere, phone and tablets. And then also we've got some issue management and viewing capabilities that helps us through the process. So just a quick second poll. Dominic, if you can quickly run that for us, please.
So this poll, we just want to quickly find out from all of you, how confident are you that everyone in your team has access to the latest version of the project? I will give it a few seconds.
Yeah, so when we talk about the latest version or everyone on the team, we're not just talking about the design consultants, we're talking about the contractor, the client, the QS, even subcontractors, the broad spectrum of the team. How confident are you always that they have the latest information?
Give it 1 or 2 more seconds. Right, I see more or less everybody has. I'm going to end the poll now. And I'm now going to just share the results with you guys.
So majority of guys says relatively confident. I think an ideal question after this would be is what kind of platform are you working with? And confidence itself, not so high a value, but it does make sense that we all always feel like relative confident about the information. So I just quickly want to take you through the process of the platform. So I've currently got a project set up here. Now, as you can see, I've uploaded a Revit file in itself, or Lulu has before that, and you can actually navigate through your project. So what's nice about BIM 360 is if you've got a Revit model uploaded, you actually get access to the 3D model. And it's not just your 2D files, it's not just PDFs or CAD, it's actually a 3D model in itself. Additional benefits is if you from your properties, you can actually get the actual values from the Revit project in itself. So no more you have to go look for a drawing. Is it a text? Is it annotated wrong? You can actually get the BIM data, as we call it, from the project. And your folder structure on the side here, these are kind of your typical folders we can create, and they customize they per project as you would like to manage this process. Now, through this process as well, so once you've uploaded your files, and this is, like I said, a vast majority of files can be uploaded, we get added benefits like the approval workflows, which is completely customizable to who you want to have up until 5 steps, meaning you can have a 1 approval process all the way to 5 people need to approve a set of drawings. All I need to do is select my set of drawings I want to submit, and I can take submit for review. And from here, I can select my type of approval process I want to use. So maybe it's just an internal approval where I need to submit this to my senior architect or senior engineer on the project just to review it. Or it might be 2 or 3 people that need to approve the design. I can give this review a name, check for external facade design. And I can add additional notes, or you can add additional documents if there's any other PDFs or images you want to add, and submit. Now this will notify any relevant people that's been given access to be part of this process. We can also actually add people we want to have been notified of this being submitted for approval. So in case the QS needs to be just notified that there might be design changes coming through the docs platform. Again, additional messaging you can add, and then we can just send this off. On my side, I would get a notification saying a new review process has been assigned to me, and I can go review it. Additional standard features that you can get is your create transmittal. We just basically can submit whatever you want to as kind of a more of a issue or kind of a fixed time and period to say new drawings have been issued for the construction team to be aware of. So just a quick question, how does it work when one of the reviewers does not approve a drawing? So when you submit a multi-file, each file is viewed independently, I want to say. So although it's one approval process, if I've submitted 2 files, one can be approved, one can be approved with comments, or it can be rejected. If it's approved, it'll continue on the process, meaning it'll either carry on to the next design person to be approved, or it could carry on or be copied to a new folder. So the approval process will come to completion. If one of those views aren't approved, it will be rejected and it will need to be fixed up before you can submit it for approval again. There's a few settings behind that, and that is, I mean, ideally how we'll assist you guys with the setup and process going forward. Okay. Cool. Then one of the other functionalities we have within our environment is our issue creation. Now, apart from just general, there might be some problems and we want to do markup. So again, here's your markup and you've got your tools on the side where you can draw revision clouds and put in text and change the colors and everything. So these views will always be saved. So if I zoom out, I can always just click back and come back to it. Okay. It's a little bit of a screenshot and you can add this information. Now this is just a markup tool. So redlining, it's kind of for your own information, what needs to change and stuff like that. When you generate an issue, this is more of a formal kind of item where I can create an issue and you can see as I'm hovering over elements, it is actually attaching this issue to the BIM object. So if I select this wall, I can now say what type of issue is it? It might be a design one, and the title is needs a new paint finish. I can assign it to the responsible party. So again, I'm just going to assign it to myself. If there's a due date, you can assign a due date to the timeline. Your location details, this becomes quite handy when it's larger, more complex projects, but it's not a requirement. And the root cause is, I always say it's quite important, especially when you want to start understanding what went wrong on the project. Is it a constructability issue? It might be a communication problem that happened, design flaw, whatever the case might be. And you can write what the problem is. Current paint spelling is not sufficient. Whatever you can do, and that's created. And you can carry on creating more and more of these design issues. Now, if I close my 3D viewer, if you go to the Issues tab, this is where all your project issues will sit. So currently I have one here, and I can actually navigate from here and see it's linked to a current document. If I click that, it will open up actually that issue, no matter where it sits within the BIM 360 environment. So if someone else assigned, if the engineers assigned to the architect an issue on a model that is viewable by both parties, the architect can actually go and view this issue on their project. And you can always track the activity of this. So at kind of like your WhatsApp motion, we can say at Tabelo, can you provide a new spec? Send, and he will get an email notification to come check this item. So as the project progresses, more issues will be generated and these can be closed off as done or completed as necessary. Now, a key factor when working with BIM 360 docs is your project home, which will give us up-to-date information happening within our platform. So as I'm loading this, we can see kind of where our project is situated, what the current weather is like, and then we can see project issues. Or from the drop-down, I can see my company's issues, so anything that's only to my company, or only issues that's been assigned to me. Now, currently we only have one, so we're not seeing a difference in that. We can also go and, I don't know why this card is twice here, but this is kind of the same setup in the process. Okay. Now, there is a lot more functionality within BIM 360 docs that is, I'm going to say, more co-hosting with other platforms and environments. The last item I quickly want to show you guys is just the permission structure. So if I create a new folder, permission, and from the options bar, I look at my permissions, I can see currently these are the people that have full rights to this project. I can add a new user and we'll add Musa to this folder. And for Musa's permission, I just want him to be able to view the model. But as you can see, there's a variety of options how you can manage the permissions to each folder. Maybe it's the client and you just want him to, whatever's inside this folder, only to view it, then you can give that access. So whenever you upload a model or copy a file from a different location into this folder, the client will actually have immediate access to it, but he can only view it. He can't change any of the information or download the information. Okay, any questions at this point? I'll give it a few more seconds. But then just coming back to finalize our presentation. So there are a variety of other webinars we're having throughout this week. So you can just kind of go to our website, www.modena-aec.co.za, and I'll paste it now into the chat. And then also we've got our online BIM Bootcamp where you can actually access some courses. There's some free ones. We've also, for this series of BIM 360 webinars, we've created a BIM 360 design webinar that's free to access. And also the Plannerly BIM management series is also free to access if you guys want to go have a look at those and get more information around this. And then a little bit of a call to action for you guys is up until the end of this month, Autodesk has given BIM 360 design free access, especially around the COVID. And we are here to assist you guys in setting up these hubs and making sure you can start using it if you want to have a look at it now, run a project on it for the next, well, I can't even say 30 days anymore, but it is there available for you guys to use. So any other questions, you guys can just drop it in the chat or in the Q&A. Yes, you can rename a project which has already been set up in the account admin. Sorry, the question was, can you rename a project which is already set up in BIM 360? So yes, you can. It's done through the account admin side, not the project management side. Okay, another question is, this was all pretty much building related through Revit, so structural, mechanical, electrical, architect discipline related. How does Civil 3D fit into it? Okay, so twofold on this one, Jock, is there's on Wednesday, if I'm correct, there's this BIM 360 design for civil. Now, this is more related to how design and civil works, but for currently what we focus on here with BIM 360 docs is the upload method is purely as a single docs product, so you need to manually upload any kind of Revit file going up there. Dion asked, must all users be on the same Revit version? Yes, you would need to be on the same Revit version to use it. It's just how the hub's set up to kind of avoid, call it cross-versioning, so guys can actually work on the same project with the same information. Chris will copy that link into the chat just now. Dominique, I don't know if you've got those links available just to drop it in the chat for the Modena website. Or quickly, I'll just type it in.
There's another question that came through. It's from Mike. He's asked, how many BIM 360 type do we have? I only know BIM 360 docs and BIM 360 design.
Okay, so there's quite a bunch of product lines. The four major ones we are tackling in this week is we're looking at BIM 360 docs, which is today's webinar. Then we've got BIM 360 design, which is your cloud collaboration tool. And then you've got BIM 360 coordination, which focus on your clash detection and things like that. And then we've got BIM 360 build, which is your construction side of things, how to manage your construction project with RFIs, what do you call it, like snagging or punch list items and things like that. Then on top of those, you get the BIM 360 ops, which is more facility management. BIM 360 cost, which is your QS related, and that sits on top of your build. And then BIM 360 asset management, which is part of your build integration to go to facility management. So there is a variety of products, and the idea is you don't need to buy all of them. They are suited for certain periods throughout the construction process. If you guys want to know more about that, just get in contact with us. We can assist you with that. So I just want to check on the chat. There's, okay, the link is sent. Can you sync versions versus model revisions for protocols? Sorry, Dirk, can you just explain that a bit more? Can you sync versions versus model revisions for protocols? Oh, no, sorry, I wasn't sure about that sync. Okay, so your version is completely different to your model revision. Okay, every time you upload a new file, a new version gets hosted to it, and that version could be a week jump or it could be a month jump, depending on how often you need to upload, where your model revisions could be an internal thing that if you've made a change, you moved a wall, that could become a new version. Okay, so that's that one. I just want to check. So Dirk also asked, how does BIM 360 primarily differ from MS SharePoint or OneDrive? Yeah, OneDrive or Teams. Okay, so put it this way, they're similar for different products. SharePoint and OneDrive is great for your Word and Excel documents, but you cannot view a Revit file, you cannot view an AutoCAD file, you cannot collaborate through SharePoint on a Revit project, where BIM 360 is focused on that solution. It's focused on solving your construction issues, and specifically for that area. Thank you. How can users keep record of what has changed during project uploads? So what I can show you now, unfortunately, this only works when you've got different files uploaded. Versions. I just want to get to those Revit folders again. Okay, so yeah, we have it. Okay, this will actually work not quite well. So here we can see the version control. So currently I've got three versions on this project. If I open up my project, at the bottom you'll see the compare tool. And from here, I can say, I want to look at version 3 versus whatever other previous uploads has been generated. I just want to get it to quite quickly generate. For some reason, it's not going to be slow. So let's go back to that. So I'm just going to compare these two. And basically what it will do now is it will overlap the two geometries with each other. And it'll give you a list of changes, what's added, removed, or modified. So if I just untick those, I can see all my added geometry. And if I want to see whatever has been removed, I can see those elements. So that is how you use BIM 360 to track changes within your project. Does sharing monitor work with BIM 360 as well? So Chris, just to answer that for you, the BIM 360 Docs platform you're looking at is an independent document management platform. This is not a collaboration. So when we start looking at the collaboration platform, then yes, BIM 360 Design, you can use your monitor, what's it called, your work sharing monitor on that platform as well. I just want to see if I've got other ones here. So I'm just looking into the chat here. What is the difference between Revit and BIM 360? Okay, Senzo, the difference is Revit is your file authoring tool. This is where you actually draw your files. This is where you model it. BIM 360 is your management platform. Okay, so this is where you manage your drawings for construction, internal processes, and things like that. Okay, it shouldn't be confused with the same thing. With BIM 360 Design, sometimes it feels like it's the same thing, but it's not. as with Revit, you're collaborating your model in the cloud. So tune in tomorrow for that webinar if you're in the architecture engineering side. And if you're on the civil side, there's a Wednesday webinar for that. Okay. Does these files update as we are working on our standard company networks? No, Imran. With BIM 360 docs, you need to manually upload these files. With design, that is a different item, but then it's cloud hosted, not network related. Jock just asked, BIM 360 is a document sharing and approval platform for only Revit files or any other type file. You can use PDF, AutoCAD, there's in ProWorks, there's Inventor, JPEGs, Word documents, Excel documents. So you can use this approval process for a variety of items. Okay, so there's an anonymous attendee that said, is BIM 360 connected to all Autodesk products? Eventually, yes, but I'll just remember BIM 360 is predominantly focused on the AEC side of things. So any product more related to that. I know recently, about 2 months ago, they've integrated with Civil 3D, and also more recently, they've integrated with Plant 3D. So they're developing this platform to be more inclusive of every other platform under the Autodesk umbrella. Then there was a question from Peter Loebscher. Can you please explain the difference between the use of plans and project sections? So for the guys that noticed, you've got a plan section and a project file section. Now, my opinion around the two is, when you integrate BIM 360 on a construction process, whatever is under your plan section is more your issue to site. Whatever is under project files is more your work in progress environment. Okay, there's a best practice of these implementations, and we would like to request that you guys connect with us to just have a discussion around this and how to implement this correctly on a project. Then we've got Dion asking, can all consultants work simultaneously to one central model? So not in the BIM 360 docs platform, but please have a look at tomorrow's webinar for BIM 360 design. That'll give you a better idea of what's possible and not. So anonymous asked, another anonymous or the same one asked is, could BIM 360 be compared to Vault? Yes, it can be, but also it's not the same platform. It was meant to be different. I'm not too familiar with Vault, but as far as my knowledge goes around it, Vault was predominantly focused on the manufacturing side of things and not so much on the AEC, architecture, engineering, and construction side of things. But please connect with us, Anonymous, so we can sit with you and discuss the differences around those, and anyone else that wants to. Okay, I've got three more questions here. Does BIM 360 work with all versions of Revit? No, it works from Revit 2017 upwards. In the latest version of Revit 2021, it's actually, there's an improved process around it, but you can start working with BIM 360, yeah, from 2017 onwards, if I'm correct on that. But yeah, so most versions of it is still accessible and manageable through that platform. Then let's say there is a collaboration team, also multidisciplinary. 3 companies have BIM 360 to collaborate, 2 don't have. Well, the 2 companies that don't have BIM 360 have limited functionality or any functionality at all in order to collaborate alongside the early adopters. So Dirk, just to answer that question, I would recommend that you connect with us just to have a look at the structure of this and what is required for the project. In an ideal situation, when you're looking at collaboration again, please tune in for tomorrow's webinar. There is the principle of bringing your own design license, which allows for each party to collaborate on a single hub. So you'll have a better idea of tomorrow's webinar for that. And then You guys love to ask questions today. Willem, does the file size matter? Currently, no. Autodesk says it doesn't matter, although remember when you're working with Revit Collaborate in itself, a local copy of that file is on your computer, which will then have an impact if the file size is too big. On Revit side of things, our BIM 360, you can upload quite big file formats without any issues. Erika, are there suggested project file structures and best practice tool guidelines? Yes, there are, Erika. It's, if you go look at the ISO standard or the PAS 1192, they do kind of highlight to a degree what is the recommended process of building a platform for this. However, we have found that various companies have various methods of doing it. So it's really project to project, team to team, how you want to navigate through this, and also complexity of the project might become a big factor. Part of this is also the different BIM platforms that is enabled on a project that might dictate how the folder structure should look. Wahid asked, can one compare CAD files? Yes, you can. Similar to our PDFs. So CAD and PDFs, if it's 2D, if it's 3D, you can actually compare the two in itself. I just want to check here. So this one has multiple views. And again, your compare tool will be able to allow you to select different versions of it. And you can compare those changes. So yes, CAD files, PDFs can be compared as well. It's not just Revit files. Okay, that is all the questions currently. And I want to say thank you guys for attending this webinar. We do apologize again for the delay and the technical issues we've had. Hopefully we've answered your questions. Hopefully you guys have a better understanding of the platform and what its capabilities. I do recommend continue watching this week's webinars, even if it's just to get a better understanding of the different platforms that is within BIM 360 or the different modules, and to build upon that. Okay. Dominic, I don't know if there's anything else from your side you want to add?
Not anything from my side. I'd just like to thank everybody for joining us for this session. You guys are more than welcome. If you think of any other questions, you're more than welcome to pop us an email, give us a call, and we'll also then just respond to you by email or call. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful day.
And then just a last item, remember, once you leave this meeting, you'll get a feedback form. If you can please complete that for us. And then the last thing, visit our website again. There's under the webinars tab, you'll find all the upcoming webinars to register on there. Again, guys, thank you for attending. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.